If you could just take a moment to introduce yourself and share a little bit about your career field, that would be awesome.
Okay, my name is Glenda Nisley, and I am a fire inspector now. That's my rank at the fire department, fire inspector. I've been a firefighter paramedic since, I've been a paramedic or in the EMS in first response since 2001. And I started my career as an EMT. I started on the ambulance service here in town at AMR, American Medical Response, years ago, and went on to go on and further myself as a paramedic. That's a higher rank than an EMT. And then I decided to go over to the fire side. I really kind of caught the bug and decided I wanted to do firefighting. And so I got into that. And after taking a few classes, I loved it.
In your daily work, what would you say is one of the most enjoyable things that you get to do?
Well, I kind of want to answer this two ways, because a lot of people who might be watching will think about the firefighter side. And since I'm no longer on an apparatus, I'm no longer on a truck and responding to calls like that. When I was in that line of work, in that part, that aspect of the job, what I loved was being able to help somebody. I'm a natural caretaker and nurturer, and I'm just I have to do something about something. I'm a very active and just being able to know that you are going in to help somebody, not just in a fire, but in a medical situation, or just any kind of crisis, because we get called, 911 gets called for the craziest things, and they're really looking at you to come help them. And so that was really big for me, is being able to actually do something about somebody's problem and help them out with that, on that part of it, it feels good. It feels good to be able to be there for people. And going on to the fire inspection side, I actually do a lot of the public education and public relations. And so for me, that's really fun, because I get to work with all ages. I go to all the preschools and do, if you've ever been to preschool and the fire truck comes and they give a speech, you give a talk. I do that. I do the talk, and the crews come and we all dress out and show them what the fire truck is like and that kind of things. But we do that all the way. And then we do, in grade school, where we're starting to teach them about not other, better things like, not touching fire, not playing with fire. And then as high schoolers, how would you like this job? Those kind of things. But then also we kind of had to outreach for seniors, senior citizens, with safety in their home, because sometimes they need a little bit of extra help. And so we talked with them about senior safety in their own homes. And so that part of it's really rewarding for me.
What was the first job that you had? Was it in the kind of EMT pathway?
No, the first job I ever had was a portrait studio. And it was just actually calling people. We had so the telemarketers of the back of the day, and we would call people and ask if they wanted to buy these portraits. And you would, so you bought 3 portraits, and they were, I think it was $45 for 3 portraits. And, and we would call these people and ask if they wanted to sell it, and ask if they wanted to buy these portraits. So, so it was in absolutely no way related.
What can students do now that you would advise to prepare for a job like yours in the future?
With firefighting or even first response, I would say probably a lot of, some of the things, almost all of our calls nowadays we have a lot of fires, but we have a lot of medical. So any kind of medical classes, basic medical classes that you could take. Of course, you have to have CPR and all those things, but any kind of knowledge that you could have, even some medical terminology class would be great. Of course, to get into the fire service, you have to have your, physical fitness, those kind of things. So staying on top of that, you probably should take some, make sure that you pay attention to the science and the math behind it, because there's some calculations with water flow and things that you just don't think about when you think you're just going to run in there and grab a hose and start putting water on the fire. But there's a lot of mathematical calculations when it comes to that. So,
well, thank you so much for talking and being able to help some of our kids see if maybe a job like yours is what they'd love to do in the future.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, and if anybody has any questions, they can call me at the Independence Fire Department, and my number is 325-7136.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye,
I hope you have
Paige.
an awesome day.
You too. Bye-bye.